Have you ever caught yourself trapped in an endless loop of scrolling through social media, binge-watching another episode of your favorite show, or suddenly finding the urge to reorganize your entire desk, all while an important task lingers unfinished? It starts innocently enough, you think, "I'll get to it later." But later becomes much later, and before you know it, you're scrambling to meet deadlines or pushing your goals further and further into the future. Sound familiar? You're not alone. Procrastination is a universal struggle, one that has stolen countless hours, opportunities, and even dreams from people all around the world. But what exactly is procrastination? At its core, procrastination is the act of delaying or postponing something, usually a task that requires immediate attention. The tricky part is that it often disguises itself as harmless, a momentary distraction, a brief detour, or even a need for perfectionism. Yet, over time, these small delays can snowball into bigger consequences, whether it's missed deadlines, heightened stress, or a deep sense of dissatisfaction with your progress in life. Now, here's the good news: procrastination is not a permanent state of being. It's not a personality flaw or an incurable habit. In fact, understanding why we procrastinate is the first step toward overcoming it. And that's exactly what we're going to do in this video. Together, we'll explore the roots of procrastination and, more importantly, actionable strategies to break free from its grip. Why do we procrastinate? It's a question that's puzzled psychologists, neuroscientists, and everyday people alike. On the surface, it might seem like laziness, but procrastination is rarely about not wanting to work. More often than not, it's about avoiding discomfort. You see, our brains are wired to seek pleasure, avoid pain, and conserve energy. When faced with a challenging or ambiguous task, your brain might label it as too hard, too boring, or not urgent, nudging you toward more immediate sources of gratification instead. That's why checking your notifications, watching a quick video, or even cleaning your room can suddenly seem far more appealing than tackling that report, project, or workout you've been putting off. But let's go a little deeper. Procrastination isn't just about avoiding effort, it's also deeply tied to our emotions. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, or even fear of success can lead us to delay taking action. Similarly, perfectionism, the belief that something has to be done flawlessly or not at all, can paralyze us into inaction. And then there's overwhelm. When a task feels too big or too complicated, it's easy to feel stuck, unsure where to even begin. Sound familiar? If so, take a deep breath. These feelings are valid, but they don't have to control you. Here's something important to remember: procrastination is a habit, and like any habit, it can be changed. The first step is awareness. Start by noticing when you're procrastinating and what triggers it. Is it a specific type of task? A certain time of day? Maybe it's tied to your energy levels, your environment, or even your mood. Once you identify the patterns, you can start to interrupt them. Let's talk strategies. One of the most effective ways to combat procrastination is to break your tasks into smaller, more manageable pieces. This technique, often called chunking, can transform a daunting project into a series of achievable steps. For example, instead of telling yourself, "I need to write a 10-page report," focus on writing just the introduction. Once you start, you'll often find that momentum carries you forward. Remember, starting is often the hardest part. Another powerful tool is setting clear deadlines. Procrastination thrives in the absence of structure. When you set a specific time frame for completing a task, it creates a sense of urgency and accountability. And if self-imposed deadlines don't work for you, consider enlisting a friend, colleague, or coach to hold you accountable. Now, let's address your environment. Your surroundings play a significant role in your ability to focus and take action. Is your workspace cluttered or full of distractions? Take a moment to organize it and remove anything that might tempt you to stray from your task. This could mean turning off your phone, closing unnecessary tabs on your computer, or even using productivity apps that block distracting websites. But what about motivation? Many people think they need to feel motivated before they can start working. In reality, action often precedes motivation. The simple act of beginning, even if it's just for 5 minutes, can create a positive feedback loop. As you make progress, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment, which fuels further motivation. So, instead of waiting for inspiration to strike, try the just 5 minutes rule. Commit to working on a task for just 5 minutes. More often than not, you'll find yourself continuing long after the timer goes off. Let's not forget about rewards. Positive reinforcement can be a powerful motivator. When you complete a task or reach a milestone, give yourself a small reward. It could be a short break, a treat, or anything that feels satisfying to you. Over time, this creates a positive association with productivity, making it easier to take action in the future. And then there's self-compassion. Too often, we beat ourselves up for procrastinating, thinking it will motivate us to do better. But research shows that self-criticism actually makes it harder to break the cycle. Instead, try to approach yourself with kindness and understanding. Remind yourself that procrastination is a common challenge and that every step you take toward overcoming it is progress worth celebrating. Finally, let's talk about the bigger picture. What are your goals? What do you want to achieve? Sometimes, reconnecting with your why, your deeper purpose, can reignite your drive to take action. When you're clear about what's at stake, whether it's personal growth, professional success, or simply the satisfaction of completing something meaningful, it becomes easier to push through resistance. So, where do you go from here? Start small. Pick one task you've been putting off and apply one of the strategies we've discussed. Break it down, set a deadline, create the right environment, and commit to just 5 minutes. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. Each small victory builds confidence and momentum, bringing you closer to the person you want to become. Procrastination may feel like a mountain now, but with the right tools and mindset, you have the power to climb it, one step at a time. And the best part? The journey to overcoming procrastination is also a journey of self-discovery, resilience, and growth. So, let's take that first step together. Are you ready to stop procrastinating and start taking action today? Chapter 1: Why do we procrastinate? Before diving into strategies for overcoming procrastination, we first need to uncover why it happens in the first place. The root causes of procrastination lie deep within our emotions, mental patterns, and brain processes. Once you understand these causes, it becomes easier to counteract them. Let's explore the primary reasons behind procrastination in more detail. The emotional roots of procrastination. At its core, procrastination is not about laziness or lack of discipline. It's an emotional response to certain challenges or fears. While everyone's reasons for procrastinating can vary, there are 3 major culprits. 1. Fear of failure. This is one of the most common drivers of procrastination. 1. When you fear failing at a task, you're less likely to start it. 1. Thoughts like, what if I'm not good enough? Or what if I make mistakes? Hold you back. 1. This fear creates a sense of paralysis, where avoiding the task altogether feels safer than risking failure. 2. Perfectionism. Many procrastinators are actually perfectionists. 2. You might think, if I can't do this perfectly, why even start? 2. This all-nothing thinking makes even small tasks feel monumental. 2. Perfectionism leads to procrastination because it sets unrealistically high expectations, turning every task into an overwhelming challenge. 3. Feeling overwhelmed. When a task feels too big, too complicated, or too unclear, it's easy to put it off. 3. You might not know where to start, or the sheer size of the project makes it feel insurmountable. 3. Instead of taking small steps, you freeze, avoiding the task altogether. How the brain plays a role. To truly understand procrastination, we need to look at how the brain functions. Procrastination activates the brain's limbic system, the part responsible for emotions and survival instincts. This ancient part of the brain prioritizes immediate comfort and safety over long-term goals. When faced with a challenging or intimidating task, your brain seeks relief by directing you towards something easier or more enjoyable. This is why distractions like Netflix, scrolling through social media, or even cleaning your room suddenly seem so appealing. These activities provide instant gratification, giving your brain a quick dopamine boost. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning and decision-making, takes a back seat. Without the prefrontal cortex in charge, long-term goals and self-discipline fade into the background. The coping mechanism. Misunderstanding. It's important to understand that procrastination is not a sign of laziness. Rather, it's a coping mechanism your brain uses to deal with negative emotions. When you feel stressed, anxious, or unmotivated, procrastination becomes a way to escape those feelings temporarily. The problem is, while it may feel good in the short term, procrastination often leads to more stress and guilt in the long run. Procrastination triggers in daily life. Let's take a closer look at some scenarios where procrastination tends to show up. 1. Workplace tasks. You might delay starting a big project because you're unsure how to approach it or fear criticism from your boss. 2. Fitness goals. You want to start exercising but feel overwhelmed by the idea of committing to a long-term routine. 3. Creative projects. Whether it's writing a book, painting a picture, or launching a business, perfectionism often holds you back, making it hard to take the first step. 4. Everyday chores. Even small tasks, like doing laundry or answering emails, can feel like a burden when you're already overwhelmed. Understanding the situations where you tend to procrastinate can help you identify patterns. Once you're aware of these triggers, you can start to address them. The good news: procrastination is unlearnable. Here's the encouraging part: procrastination is not a fixed trait. It's a learned behavior, which means it can be unlearned. By rewiring your habits and changing how you respond to challenging tasks, you can break free from the cycle of procrastination. Why self-awareness is key. The first step in overcoming procrastination is becoming aware of it. Pay attention to when, where, and why you procrastinate. Ask yourself: 1. What emotions am I feeling right now? 2. What am I avoiding, and why? 3. What's the worst thing that could happen if I fail? 4. What small step can I take right now to move forward? These questions help you shift from autopilot to conscious decision-making, allowing you to take control of the situation. Procrastination is a habit loop. Procrastination operates as a habit loop with 3 components. 1. Trigger: a task or situation that feels uncomfortable, intimidating, or unclear. 2. Behavior: you avoid the task and choose a distraction instead. 3. Reward: you feel a temporary sense of relief or pleasure. To break the habit of procrastination, you need to interrupt this loop. Instead of avoiding the task, acknowledge the discomfort and take a small, manageable action toward your goal. Over time, this new behavior will become a habit, replacing the old procrastination loop. The science of small wins. One effective way to combat procrastination is by focusing on small wins. When a task feels overwhelming, break it down into smaller, bite-sized steps. Completing even one small step can give you a sense of accomplishment and momentum, making it easier to tackle the next step. For example, 1. Instead of writing an entire report, start by outlining the main points. 2. Instead of committing to a 1-hour workout, aim for just 10 minutes of movement. 3. Instead of cleaning the entire house, focus on organizing one drawer or shelf. Each small win provides a dopamine boost, reinforcing positive behavior and making you more likely to continue. Reframing your mindset. Another way to overcome procrastination is by changing how you think about tasks. Instead of viewing them as burdens or obligations, try reframing them as opportunities. For instance, 1. Instead of saying, "I have to finish this project," say, "I get to share my ideas and creativity." 2. Instead of thinking, "I'm so behind on my fitness goals," say, "I'm making progress with every small step I take." This shift in perspective can make tasks feel less daunting and more enjoyable, reducing the urge to procrastinate. The role of self-compassion. Finally, be kind to yourself. Many people beat themselves up for procrastinating, which only makes the problem worse. Remember, procrastination is a natural response to certain emotions. Instead of criticizing yourself, practice self-compassion. Acknowledge that you're human and that it's okay to struggle. Then, focus on taking one small step forward. A preview of what's next. Now that we've explored why we procrastinate, it's time to move on to actionable strategies for overcoming it. In the next chapter, we'll dive into practical techniques, including time management methods, goal-setting strategies, and ways to build accountability. Remember, overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a quick fix. With patience, self-awareness, and the right tools, you can break free from its grip and start taking action today. Chapter 2: The Cost of Procrastination. Procrastination is more than just a bad habit, it's a thief of time and potential. Every minute you delay taking action, you're not just putting off a task, you're missing opportunities that could shape your future. This chapter dives deep into the true cost of procrastination, exposing its impact on your life and guiding you to confront the consequences head-on. The hidden toll of procrastination. At first glance, procrastination might seem harmless. Skipping one deadline or putting off one responsibility might feel inconsequential. But procrastination is insidious. Its effects compound over time, leading to stress, missed opportunities, and diminished self-esteem. Studies show that chronic procrastination is closely linked to higher levels of anxiety, depression, and stress. When you delay important tasks, you're not just postponing work, you're creating a cycle of guilt and worry. The thought of an unfinished task lingers in the back of your mind, draining your energy and focus. Consider this: how many times have you told yourself, "I'll do it tomorrow," only to wake up feeling the weight of yesterday's unfinished tasks? That weight doesn't disappear, it grows heavier with each passing day. Eventually, procrastination robs you of your peace of mind, leaving you overwhelmed and stuck in a loop of inaction. The financial cost. Procrastination doesn't just affect your mental health, it can also take a toll on your wallet. Whether you're delaying work on a side hustle, avoiding that overdue project at your job, or neglecting to invest in your education, the financial consequences of procrastination can be severe. Let's take an example. Imagine you've been procrastinating on launching a freelance business. Each month you delay, you're potentially missing out on hundreds or even thousands of dollars in income. Over a year, that's a significant loss, money that could have been invested, saved, or used to improve your quality of life. Similarly, procrastination can lead to late fees, missed payments, and poor financial planning. Avoiding important tasks like creating a budget or filing taxes on time can result in penalties and unnecessary stress. Over time, these financial hits add up, making it harder to achieve your long-term goals. The academic and career impact for students and professionals alike, procrastination can derail progress in significant ways. In school, procrastination often leads to rushed assignments, lower grades, and a lack of deep learning. Instead of mastering concepts, you might find yourself cramming at the last minute, sacrificing the quality of your education. In the workplace, procrastination can tarnish your reputation. Missing deadlines, delivering subpar work, or failing to follow through on commitments signals to your colleagues and superiors that you're unreliable. Over time, this can limit your career advancement opportunities, reduce your earning potential, and even lead to job loss. The relationship cost. Procrastination doesn't just affect you, it impacts the people around you. When you delay responding to messages, putting off spending quality time with loved ones, or avoiding difficult conversations, you're eroding trust and connection. Think about a time when you've avoided addressing an issue with a friend or family member. Maybe you kept telling yourself you'd bring it up later, only to find the relationship strained by unresolved tension. Procrastination in relationships creates distance and misunderstanding, which can be challenging to repair. The cost of missed opportunities. Every time you procrastinate, you're choosing immediate comfort over long-term growth. But life is full of opportunities that are time-sensitive. A job opening, a networking event, a chance to learn a new skill, these moments don't wait for you to be ready. By the time you decide to take action, the opportunity may be gone. Missed opportunities are one of the most painful consequences of procrastination because they're often irreversible. You'll never know what could have been if you'd taken action sooner. That lingering what if can haunt you, leaving you with regret. The emotional burden of regret. Regret is one of the heaviest burdens to carry. It's a painful reminder of what you could have achieved if you'd only acted. The regret of procrastination often stems from knowing that the only thing standing between you and success was your own inaction. Ask yourself, what's the one thing you've been putting off? Maybe it's writing that book, starting that fitness journey, or having a difficult but necessary conversation. Now think about the cost of not doing it. How would your life look a year from now if you continue to procrastinate? 5 years? 10? The truth is, the pain of regret is far greater than the discomfort of discipline. While discipline requires effort and persistence, regret lingers, reminding you of the opportunities you let slip away. Breaking the cycle. Understanding the cost of procrastination is the first step to overcoming it. When you acknowledge the impact it has on your life, you can start taking intentional steps to break the cycle. Step 1. Identify your triggers. Procrastination often stems from fear, perfectionism, or overwhelm. Maybe you're afraid of failing, so you put off starting. Or perhaps you're overwhelmed by the size of a task and don't know where to begin. Identifying the root cause of your procrastination can help you address it effectively. Ask yourself, why am I avoiding this task? Be honest. Understanding your triggers gives you the clarity to tackle them head-on. Step 2. Break tasks into smaller steps. One of the main reasons people procrastinate is because a task feels too big or daunting. The solution. Break it down into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of thinking about writing an entire book, focus on writing one page. Instead of planning an entire project, start with creating an outline. Small steps build momentum. Each time you complete a step, you'll feel a sense of accomplishment that motivates you to keep going. Step 3. Set clear deadlines. Without deadlines, tasks have a way of dragging on indefinitely. Set clear, realistic deadlines for yourself, and hold yourself accountable. If necessary, share your deadlines with someone you trust so they can help keep you on track. Step 4. Focus on the benefits. When you're tempted to procrastinate, remind yourself of the benefits of taking action. Visualize how completing the task will improve your life. Will it reduce stress? Open up new opportunities? Strengthen your relationships? Keeping these benefits in mind can help you push through resistance. Step 5. Practice self-compassion. Finally, remember that overcoming procrastination is a journey. You're going to have setbacks, and that's okay. Be kind to yourself, and focus on progress, not perfection. Celebrate your wins, no matter how small, and use them as motivation to keep moving forward. A personal reflection. Take a moment to reflect on your own life. What's the one thing you've been avoiding? Write it down. Then ask yourself, what is the true cost of not doing it? How is procrastination holding you back from the life you want to live? Now imagine the opposite. Picture yourself taking action today. How would it feel to finally start that project, have that conversation, or make that change? The choice is yours. Every decision you make, or don't make, shapes your future. Final thoughts. Procrastination is a habit that costs more than you realize. It affects your mental health, finances, career, relationships, and overall happiness. But the good news is, you have the power to change. By recognizing the cost of procrastination and taking intentional steps to overcome it, you can reclaim your time, energy, and potential. Remember, the pain of regret is greater than the pain of discipline. So take action today. Your future self will thank you. Chapter 3, 10 Strategies to Beat Procrastination. Procrastination is something we all struggle with from time to time. Whether it's delaying that important work assignment, putting off cleaning the house, or avoiding a difficult conversation, the act of procrastinating often leads to stress, guilt, and a pile of incomplete tasks. So, how do we overcome this? Let's dive into two powerful strategies: the 5-second rule and breaking tasks into smaller steps. The 5-second rule. The 5-second rule, popularized by motivational speaker Mel Robbins, is a deceptively simple yet powerful tool for beating procrastination. The core idea is this: the moment you feel the urge to put something off, count backward from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and then take action immediately. But why does this work, and how can you implement it in your daily life? The science behind the 5-second rule is rooted in the way our brains are wired. When you're faced with a task that feels difficult or uncomfortable, your brain instinctively looks for ways to avoid it. This is part of your brain's autopilot mode, which prioritizes comfort and routine over effort and change. The 5-second rule disrupts this autopilot mode. By counting backward, you activate your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for decision-making and focus. This brief interruption gives you a window of opportunity to override your brain's natural tendency to procrastinate, and take conscious control of your actions. Here's an example: imagine you're lying in bed, and your alarm goes off. You know you should get up and start your day, but instead, you're tempted to hit the snooze button. This is where the 5-second rule comes in. As soon as you feel that hesitation, start counting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then, swing your legs out of bed and stand up. You've just bypassed the mental chatter that might have convinced you to stay in bed for another 10 minutes. The beauty of this technique is its simplicity. You don't need any special tools, training, or preparation to use it. All it takes is a willingness to act within those crucial 5 seconds. Over time, this practice can help you build confidence, develop self-discipline, and create positive habits. Another way to use the 5-second rule is to tackle small tasks immediately. For instance, if you're scrolling through emails and see one that requires a response, instead of flagging it to deal with later, count backward from 5 and reply right then and there. This habit not only reduces the buildup of tasks but also trains your brain to act quickly and decisively. Of course, like any habit, the 5-second rule requires practice and consistency. At first, you might find yourself forgetting to use it or giving in to procrastination despite counting down. That's okay. The key is to keep trying and to remind yourself that action, no matter how small, is better than inaction. With time, you'll find that the 5-second rule becomes second nature, helping you to overcome procrastination and take control of your day. Break it down. One of the main reasons we procrastinate is that the tasks in front of us feel overwhelming. When faced with a big project or goal, it's easy to feel paralyzed by the sheer amount of work involved. This is where the strategy of breaking tasks into smaller steps comes in. Think of a massive boulder sitting in your path. It's too heavy to move all at once, so you might be tempted to give up and walk away. But what if you could break that boulder into smaller pieces? Suddenly, the task becomes much more manageable. The same principle applies to the tasks and goals in your life. Let's say you have to write a 20-page report for work. The thought of sitting down and completing the entire report in one go might feel daunting. Instead of focusing on the entire report, break it down into smaller, more manageable steps. Start with, I'll spend 15 minutes brainstorming ideas for the introduction. Once that's done, move on to, I'll write the first paragraph. By dividing the task into bite-sized pieces, you reduce the mental resistance and make it easier to get started. This approach is effective because it creates a sense of progress and momentum. Each small step you complete gives you a feeling of accomplishment, which motivates you to keep going. Over time, these small wins add up, and before you know it, you've completed the entire task. Another benefit of breaking tasks down is that it helps you identify and address specific obstacles. For example, if you're procrastinating on cleaning your house, it might be because the thought of cleaning the entire house feels overwhelming. By breaking it down into smaller tasks, like cleaning one room at a time or even one area within a room, you can tackle the job more effectively. You might start with, I'll spend 10 minutes tidying up the living room, and then move on to, I'll vacuum the carpet. Each completed step brings you closer to your goal and reduces the overall sense of overwhelm. It's also helpful to set specific and realistic goals for each step. Instead of saying, I need to organize my entire closet, start with, I'll sort through my shoes. Once that's done, move on to the next category. By focusing on one small task at a time, you make steady progress without feeling burdened by the bigger picture. Breaking tasks down isn't just about making them more manageable, it's also about creating a clear roadmap for success. When you have a step-by-step plan, it's easier to stay focused and avoid distractions. You know exactly what needs to be done next, so there's less room for hesitation or doubt. Finally, don't forget to celebrate your progress along the way. Each small step you complete is a victory, and acknowledging these wins can help you stay motivated. Whether it's treating yourself to a cup of coffee after finishing a task or simply taking a moment to appreciate your effort, these small rewards can make a big difference. The 5-second rule and breaking tasks into smaller steps are both effective on their own, but they're even more powerful when used together. For example, if you're feeling overwhelmed by a big project, you can use the 5-second rule to overcome the initial resistance and start on the first small step. Once you've taken that first action, breaking the task down into smaller pieces will help you maintain momentum and stay on track. Imagine you need to prepare a presentation for work. You're tempted to put it off because it feels like too much to handle. Instead of procrastinating, use the 5-second rule, count backward from 5 and open your laptop. Then, break the task down into smaller steps, such as creating an outline, designing one slide at a time, and rehearsing your speech. By combining these strategies, you'll find it much easier to stay productive and achieve your goals. In conclusion, procrastination doesn't have to hold you back. With tools like the 5-second rule and the practice of breaking tasks into smaller steps, you can take control of your time, reduce stress, and accomplish more than you ever thought possible. Remember, the key is to start small and take action today. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward a more productive and fulfilling life. (3) Set clear goals. Procrastination often stems from a lack of clarity. When our goals are vague or undefined, it's easy to delay action because we don't know where to start or what's expected of us. Imagine saying to yourself, "I need to study later." What does later mean? What exactly do you need to study? How will you know when you're done? Without specificity, tasks remain abstract and overwhelming, making it far more tempting to put them off. Setting clear goals changes everything. Specificity brings focus and reduces mental clutter. For example, instead of telling yourself, "I'll exercise tomorrow," a clear goal would be, "I'll go for a 20-minute run at 6:30 a.m. before work." Notice how the second goal leaves no room for ambiguity. It answers the who, what, when, and how of the task. This level of precision makes it easier to take the first step because you've already planned your path forward. Another key to setting clear goals is breaking down larger tasks into smaller, manageable steps. If your goal is to complete a research paper, the idea of tackling the whole project can feel daunting. Instead, break it into specific actions. Research 3 journal articles on Monday. Write the introduction on Tuesday, and so on. This approach not only makes the process less overwhelming but also gives you a sense of progress as you complete each step. Deadlines are another powerful tool for setting clear goals. When you attach a deadline to your task, you create a sense of urgency that combats procrastination. For instance, instead of saying, "I'll clean my room this week," a clear goal would be, "I'll organize my closet and vacuum the floor by Saturday at 3 p.m. Deadlines give your goals structure and help you prioritize them against other demands on your time. It's also helpful to write your goals down. Whether you use a planner, a digital app, or a sticky note, documenting your goals solidifies your commitment to them. Written goals act as a visual reminder of your intentions and keep you accountable. Plus, there's a psychological benefit to checking off completed tasks. It boosts your motivation and reinforces a sense of accomplishment. To ensure your goals are truly effective, consider using the SMART criteria. This acronym stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break it down. Specific: what exactly do you want to achieve? A vague goal like get fit becomes specific when rephrased as go to the gym 3 times a week. Measurable: how will you know when you've succeeded? Adding a measurable element, like lose 5 pounds in a month, allows you to track your progress. Achievable, is your goal realistic given your current circumstances? Setting an attainable target ensures you don't get discouraged. Relevant, does this goal align with your broader objectives? Make sure it's something that genuinely matters to you. Time-bound, when do you want to accomplish this goal? Adding a deadline keeps you focused and prevents procrastination. By applying the SMART criteria, you'll create goals that are not only clear but also motivating and actionable. Remember, clarity is power. The more specific and intentional you are about your goals, the easier it will be to overcome procrastination and take meaningful action. 4. Reward yourself. One of the most effective ways to combat procrastination is by creating a reward system. Human beings are naturally motivated by incentives. When you associate completing a task with a positive outcome, you're more likely to take action. Think about it, why do we enjoy celebrating milestones like birthdays, graduations or promotions? It's because these celebrations give us something to look forward to and remind us of our achievements. You can apply the same principle to everyday tasks by rewarding yourself for your efforts. The key to an effective reward system is matching the reward to the effort involved. For smaller tasks, you might choose a quick, simple reward. For example, if you spend 30 minutes decluttering your workspace, you could treat yourself to a cup of coffee or 10 minutes of scrolling through your favorite social media platform. On the other hand, larger tasks warrant bigger rewards. Completing a major work project could earn you a dinner at your favorite restaurant or a relaxing evening binge watching a TV series. Rewards don't always have to be material. Sometimes, intangible rewards like taking a walk in nature, listening to music, or enjoying a guilt-free nap can be just as satisfying. The important thing is to choose something that genuinely excites you and feels like a treat. It's also helpful to set your reward in advance. Knowing that a reward is waiting for you can create anticipation and drive. For example, tell yourself, once I finish studying for an hour, I'll watch the next episode of my favorite show. This creates a clear connection between completing the task and enjoying the reward, making the process feel more engaging. Another benefit of rewarding yourself is that it helps to rewire your brain's relationship with productivity. If you've historically associated work with stress or boredom, introducing rewards can shift your mindset. Over time, your brain will start to associate completing tasks with positive experiences, making you more likely to take action in the future. For those who struggle with self-discipline, external accountability can enhance your reward system. Share your goals and rewards with a friend or family member. For example, you could tell a friend, if I don't finish this assignment by 8 p.m., I'll skip dessert tonight. Knowing that someone else is aware of your plan adds an extra layer of motivation to stick to it. It's worth noting that rewards should complement your goals rather than undermine them. For instance, if your goal is to improve your fitness, rewarding yourself with a sugary treat after every workout might not align with your broader objectives. In such cases, consider non-food rewards like buying a new workout outfit or enjoying a relaxing bath. Finally, don't forget to celebrate your progress, not just the end result. If you're working on a long-term project, reward yourself for reaching milestones along the way. This keeps you motivated and prevents burnout. For example, if your goal is to write a book, you might reward yourself after completing each chapter rather than waiting until the entire manuscript is finished. In summary, rewarding yourself is a powerful strategy to overcome procrastination and stay motivated. By pairing tasks with incentives, you'll create a positive feedback loop that makes productivity feel more enjoyable and less like a chore. So, the next time you're tempted to procrastinate, remember, finish the task first, then enjoy the reward. It's a simple but effective formula for taking action today. Five. The Pomodoro technique. Procrastination often stems from feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of tasks we need to accomplish. The Pomodoro technique, a simple yet powerful time management method, is an effective way to combat this paralysis. Developed by Francesco Cirillo in the late 1980s, this technique is named after the tomato-shaped kitchen timer he initially used to track his work sessions. The essence of the Pomodoro technique lies in breaking your work into manageable intervals, typically 25 minutes long, followed by short breaks. Why does this technique work so well? It's rooted in several psychological principles. First, it leverages the concept of time boxing. By committing to focus for just 25 minutes, the task feels less daunting. Instead of telling yourself you need to spend hours working on a project, you only need to tackle it for a short, finite amount of time. This eliminates the resistance that often comes with starting. Another reason the Pomodoro technique is effective is because it taps into our brain's natural focus patterns. Research shows that our attention span wanes after prolonged periods of concentration. By working in bursts of 25 minutes, you align with your brain's natural rhythm, maintaining peak productivity without burning out. Here's how to implement the Pomodoro technique. 1. Choose a task. Start by identifying the task you want to work on. 1. Whether it's writing a report, studying for an exam, or cleaning your home, clarity is key. 1. Avoid multitasking during this period. The goal is to dedicate your attention fully to one thing. 2. Set a timer for 25 minutes. Use a timer to mark your Pomodoro session. 2. While any timer will do, many people prefer dedicated Pomodoro apps or physical timers for an added sense of ritual. 3. Work without interruptions. During the 25 minutes, focus entirely on your task. 3. This means silencing your phone, closing unnecessary browser tabs, and informing those around you that you're in a focused work session. 4. Take a 5-minute break. Once the timer goes off, step away from your work. 4. Use this time to stretch, grab a drink, or simply rest your eyes. 4. The break helps you recharge and prevents mental fatigue. 5. Repeat the cycle. After 4 Pomodoro sessions, take a longer break, typically 15 to 30 minutes. 5. This gives you a chance to reset before diving back into your tasks. The beauty of the Pomodoro technique lies in its adaptability. While 25 minutes is the standard, you can adjust the intervals to suit your needs. For instance, if you find it easier to focus for 50 minutes, followed by a 10-minute break, go for it. The key is consistency and mindfulness in managing your time. One common challenge people face when starting with the Pomodoro technique is the temptation to extend a work session if they're on a roll. While this might seem productive in the moment, it defeats the purpose of the method. The scheduled breaks are crucial for sustaining long-term focus and preventing burnout. Over time, you'll find that adhering to the structure helps you accomplish more with less effort. The Pomodoro technique is particularly beneficial for those who struggle with perfectionism. When you're focused on completing a task within a set time frame, there's less room for overthinking. It encourages you to make progress rather than waiting for the perfect conditions or results. Additionally, this method provides a built-in system for tracking your work. At the end of the day, you can review how many Pomodoros you completed, giving you a tangible sense of achievement. This can be incredibly motivating, especially when working on long-term projects where progress isn't immediately visible. To make the most of the Pomodoro technique, it's helpful to combine it with other productivity strategies. For example, you can use the first few minutes of your session to set a clear intention for what you want to achieve. This ensures that your efforts are focused and purposeful. Similarly, reviewing your progress at the end of each session can help you stay on track and make adjustments as needed. In conclusion, the Pomodoro technique is more than just a time management tool, it's a mindset shift. By breaking your work into manageable chunks and taking regular breaks, you can overcome procrastination, stay focused, and maintain a healthy work-life balance. Whether you're tackling a major project or just trying to get through your daily to-do list, this method can help you approach your tasks with clarity and confidence. 6. Change your environment. Procrastination isn't always about a lack of willpower or discipline. Sometimes, it's your environment that's holding you back. The spaces we inhabit have a profound impact on our behavior, mindset, and productivity. A cluttered, chaotic workspace can make even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming, while a clean, organized environment can inspire focus and creativity. Changing your environment doesn't necessarily mean a complete overhaul. Small, intentional adjustments can make a big difference. Start by identifying the aspects of your current space that hinder your productivity. Is your desk piled with papers and miscellaneous items? Is the lighting too dim or too harsh? Are there constant distractions, like noise from the TV or interruptions from family members? Once you've pinpointed the issues, you can take steps to address them. One of the easiest ways to improve your environment is by decluttering. A messy workspace is not only visually distracting but can also create a sense of mental clutter. Spend a few minutes each day tidying up your area. File away papers, put away items you're not using, and wipe down surfaces. This simple practice can help you start each work session with a clear mind. Another key factor is lighting. Natural light is ideal for productivity, as it helps regulate your circadian rhythm and boosts your mood. If natural light isn't an option, invest in a good quality desk lamp with adjustable brightness. Warm, soft lighting can create a cozy atmosphere, while bright, cool lighting is better for tasks that require focus and precision. Noise is another common environmental challenge. If you're easily distracted by background sounds, consider using noise-canceling headphones or playing white noise to drown out distractions. Alternatively, some people find that certain types of music, like instrumental tracks or nature sounds, can enhance their concentration. In addition to decluttering and optimizing your current space, sometimes the best solution is to change your location entirely. If working from home isn't working for you, try going to a library, a co-working space, or a quiet cafe. A change of scenery can provide a fresh perspective and help you associate your new environment with productivity. Your physical surroundings aren't the only aspect of your environment that matters. Your digital workspace plays a significant role as well. If your computer desktop is cluttered with files, or if your phone is constantly buzzing with notifications, it can be difficult to stay focused. Organize your digital files into folders, clear unnecessary apps from your home screen, and use tools like Do Not Disturb mode to minimize distractions. Another powerful way to optimize your environment is by creating rituals or cues that signal it's time to work. For example, lighting a specific candle, playing a certain playlist, or even putting on a pair of noise-canceling headphones can serve as a mental trigger that helps you shift into a focused mindset. Over time, these small habits can create a sense of consistency and structure in your routine. It's also worth considering the role of ergonomics in your productivity. An uncomfortable chair, poor desk height, or a strained posture can quickly sap your energy and focus. Invest in a comfortable chair with proper lumbar support, and position your monitor at eye level to reduce neck strain. Small changes like these can make a big difference in how you feel during and after your work sessions. For those who thrive on social interaction, changing your environment might also mean surrounding yourself with the right people. Working alongside others who are focused and motivated can create a sense of accountability and inspiration. This could be as simple as scheduling a co-working session with a friend or joining a study group. Finally, don't underestimate the power of personalization. Your workspace should reflect your personality and preferences. Add elements that make you happy, whether it's a favorite photo, a potted plant, or a piece of artwork. These personal touches can create a more inviting and enjoyable atmosphere, making it easier to stay engaged with your work. In summary, your environment is a powerful tool in the fight against procrastination. By making small, intentional changes to your physical and digital spaces, you can create an atmosphere that supports focus, creativity, and productivity. Remember, the goal isn't perfection but progress. Experiment with different adjustments and find what works best for you. With the right environment, you'll be well on your way to overcoming procrastination and taking action today. Seven. Eliminate distractions. Procrastination thrives in environments filled with distractions. Think about the last time you sat down to focus on a task. Maybe you had your phone next to you, your TV playing in the background, or notifications popping up on your computer. These interruptions, no matter how small, pull you away from your work and make it harder to regain focus. The first step to overcoming procrastination is to create a distraction-free environment. Start with your phone, one of the most common culprits. Studies show that even the presence of a smartphone can decrease your cognitive performance. Turn off all unnecessary notifications. Better yet, put your phone on silent mode and place it in another room or drawer where it's out of sight. If you're worried about missing important calls or messages, consider setting a specific time to check your phone so you're not constantly distracted by it. Another major source of distraction is social media. Scrolling through Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter may feel like a harmless break, but these platforms are designed to keep you engaged far longer than you intend. To resist the temptation, log out of your accounts during work periods or use apps that block social media sites for a set amount of time. By removing access to these platforms, you're setting yourself up for deeper focus and productivity. Your physical environment also plays a significant role. A cluttered workspace can lead to a cluttered mind. Take a few minutes to tidy up your desk before starting your work. Remove anything that isn't essential to the task at hand. If you're working from home, communicate with family members or roommates about your need for uninterrupted time. Use noise-canceling headphones or play instrumental music to drown out background noise. For those who struggle with constant email notifications, schedule specific blocks of time to check your inbox instead of keeping it open all day. This approach helps you avoid the trap of responding to every email as it arrives, which can significantly disrupt your workflow. Sometimes, distractions aren't external but internal. Your mind might wander to unrelated thoughts or tasks. To combat this, keep a notepad nearby. If you think of something unrelated that needs your attention, jot it down and return to it later. This technique allows you to stay focused without the fear of forgetting something important. Creating a distraction-free environment isn't about perfection, it's about minimizing interruptions as much as possible. Every small step you take toward reducing distractions brings you closer to accomplishing your goals. The key is consistency. Make eliminating distractions a daily habit, and over time, you'll find it easier to concentrate on the things that truly matter. 8. Visualize the outcome. Motivation often feels like an elusive force, especially when you're faced with a challenging or tedious task. But one of the most powerful ways to ignite your drive is to visualize the outcome you desire. Visualization is more than just daydreaming, it's a mental exercise that helps you connect with your goals on a deeper, emotional level. Start by taking a few moments to close your eyes and imagine what success looks like for you. Let's say you're a student struggling to study for an important exam. Picture yourself walking across the graduation stage, receiving your degree, and feeling a sense of pride and accomplishment. Envision the smiles of your loved ones as they cheer you on. Focus on the emotions that come with achieving your goal, the joy, the relief, the confidence. By immersing yourself in this mental image, you're reminding yourself why the effort is worth it. If your goal is related to fitness, visualize yourself in your dream body. Imagine the energy and vitality you'll feel when you reach your desired level of health. Picture yourself confidently wearing clothes that make you feel good or participating in activities that once seemed out of reach. This mental rehearsal can help you push through moments of doubt or fatigue, as it reinforces the positive outcomes of your hard work. Visualization isn't just about long-term goals, it can also be applied to smaller tasks. For example, if you're dreading a difficult conversation or a big presentation, take a moment to visualize the interaction going smoothly. Picture yourself speaking confidently, articulating your points clearly, and receiving a positive response. This practice can help reduce anxiety and build self-assurance. Research has shown that visualization can improve performance in various areas, from sports to academics to personal development. When you visualize success, your brain activates many of the same neural pathways as it would if you were actually experiencing the event. This means you're essentially rehearsing success, which makes it feel more attainable and less intimidating. To enhance your visualization practice, try incorporating all your senses. Don't just see your goal, hear it, feel it, and even smell or taste it if applicable. For instance, if you're working towards starting a business, imagine the sound of a customer thanking you for your service, the feeling of holding your first paycheck, or the scent of coffee in your new office space. The more vivid and detailed your mental image, the more impactful it will be. Another powerful technique is to pair visualization with affirmations. As you picture your success, repeat positive statements to yourself, such as, "I am capable of achieving my goals," or "I have the discipline to follow through." This combination of visualization and affirmations reinforces a positive mindset and helps counteract self-doubt. It's important to note that visualization isn't a substitute for action. While imagining your ideal outcome can inspire and motivate you, it's up to you to take the necessary steps to make it a reality. Think of visualization as the spark that lights the fire, but consistent effort is what keeps it burning. Incorporating visualization into your daily routine doesn't have to be time-consuming. Even just 5 minutes a day can make a difference. Consider practicing it in the morning to set a positive tone for the day or before tackling a challenging task to boost your confidence. Over time, this habit can become a valuable tool in your productivity arsenal. The beauty of visualization lies in its ability to shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on the difficulties of the task at hand, you're directing your energy toward the rewards of completing it. This shift can make even the most daunting challenges feel more manageable and worthwhile. By regularly visualizing your desired outcomes, you're training your mind to stay motivated and resilient, even in the face of obstacles. In conclusion, eliminating distractions and visualizing the outcome are two powerful strategies to help you overcome procrastination and take action today. By creating an environment conducive to focus and connecting with the emotional rewards of your goals, you're setting yourself up for success. Remember, every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to achieving your dreams. Start now, and watch as your productivity soars. 9. Use accountability partners. Accountability partners can be transformative when it comes to overcoming procrastination. The idea is simple: find someone you trust and share your goals with them. This isn't just about telling someone your plans and walking away, it's about building a relationship where both parties can motivate and support each other. When you share your goals with someone else, you create a sense of responsibility. Suddenly, it's not just about you. Knowing that someone else is invested in your progress can provide the extra push you need to follow through. Think about it: how many times have you let yourself off the hook because you're only accountable to yourself? It's easy to make excuses when no one is watching. But when someone else is counting on you, those excuses become harder to justify. An accountability partner can take many forms. It might be a friend, a family member, a colleague, or even a mentor. The key is to find someone who genuinely cares about your success and is willing to check in with you regularly. This person doesn't need to share your exact goals, but they should understand the importance of what you're trying to achieve and be supportive of your efforts. Here's how to get started with an accountability partnership. 1. Be honest about your goals. Start by sharing what you're trying to achieve. 1. Be specific. 1. Instead of saying, "I want to get better at time management," say, "I want to finish this specific project by the end of the month." 1. Clear goals make it easier for your accountability partner to help you stay on track. 2. Set regular check-ins. Decide how often you'll update each other. 2. This could be a daily text, a weekly call, or even a quick coffee meeting. 2. Regular check-ins ensure that procrastination doesn't creep back in unnoticed. 3. Celebrate wins together. When you hit a milestone, take a moment to celebrate with your accountability partner. 3. This reinforces positive behavior and makes the process more enjoyable for both of you. 4. Be open to feedback. An accountability partner isn't just there to cheer you on, they're also there to provide constructive feedback. 4. If you're falling behind, they should feel comfortable pointing it out. 4. Be open to this feedback and use it to improve. 5. Reciprocate. If your partner also has goals, support them in return. 5. This mutual accountability creates a balanced relationship where both parties benefit. One of the best things about having an accountability partner is the sense of camaraderie it fosters. You're not in this alone. When you're feeling unmotivated, your partner can remind you of why you started. When you're tempted to procrastinate, knowing that someone will ask about your progress can keep you focused. Some people even take this concept to the next level by joining accountability groups or hiring a coach. These options can provide a structured environment for goal setting and progress tracking. But even a simple partnership with a friend can be incredibly effective. Remember, the goal of an accountability partner isn't to shame you into action, it's to support and encourage you. The idea is to create a positive dynamic where both parties feel motivated to do their best. It's about building each other up, not tearing each other down. 10. Forgive yourself. Procrastination is often accompanied by guilt, frustration, and self-criticism. When you put off important tasks, it's easy to spiral into negative thinking. You might tell yourself that you're lazy, unproductive, or incapable. These thoughts can be incredibly demotivating and make it even harder to take action. That's why learning to forgive yourself is so important. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean ignoring the consequences of procrastination. It means acknowledging that you're human, and that everyone makes mistakes. It means giving yourself permission to start fresh without carrying the weight of past failures. The first step to self-forgiveness is recognizing that procrastination doesn't define you. It's a behavior, not a personality trait. Just because you procrastinated today doesn't mean you're doomed to procrastinate forever. This distinction is crucial because it separates your actions from your identity. You are not your mistakes. Next, try to understand why you procrastinated in the first place. Were you overwhelmed by the task? Did you lack clear instructions or resources? Were you afraid of failing? Understanding the root cause can help you address the issue and prevent it from happening again. For example, if you procrastinated because the task felt too big, you might try breaking it into smaller, more manageable steps next time. Once you've identified the cause, it's time to let go of the guilt. Holding on to negative emotions won't change the past, it will only drain your energy and make it harder to move forward. Instead, focus on what you can do right now. The goal is progress, not perfection. Here are some practical steps to practice self-forgiveness. 1. Acknowledge your feelings. It's okay to feel disappointed in yourself. 1. Allow yourself to experience these emotions without judgment. 1. Suppressing your feelings will only make them stronger. 2. Reframe your inner dialogue. Replace harsh self-criticism with compassionate self-talk. 2. Instead of saying, "I'm so lazy," try saying, "I had a tough day, but I can try again tomorrow." 3. Focus on solutions. Rather than dwelling on what went wrong, think about what you can do differently moving forward. 3. This shifts your mindset from regret to action. 4. Set realistic expectations. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination. 4. If you're constantly setting unattainable goals, you're setting yourself up for failure. 4. Aim for progress, not perfection. 5. Celebrate small wins. Every step forward, no matter how small, is worth celebrating. 5. Recognizing your progress can boost your confidence and motivate you to keep going. 6. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness techniques, such as meditation or deep breathing, can help you stay present and reduce feelings of guilt or anxiety. 6. When you're focused on the present moment, it's easier to let go of the past. Self-forgiveness isn't always easy, especially if you're used to being hard on yourself. But it's a skill that can be developed with practice. Over time, you'll find it easier to bounce back from setbacks and stay focused on your goals. One of the most powerful aspects of self-forgiveness is its ability to break the cycle of procrastination. When you forgive yourself, you free up mental and emotional energy that would otherwise be spent on guilt and self-criticism. This energy can then be channeled into productive actions. It's also important to remember that self-forgiveness is not a one-time event. You may need to forgive yourself multiple times as you work toward your goals. That's okay. Progress is rarely a straight line, and setbacks are a natural part of any journey. In conclusion, procrastination doesn't have to hold you back. By using accountability partners and practicing self-forgiveness, you can overcome the barriers that keep you from taking action. These strategies not only help you stay on track but also create a more positive and supportive mindset. Remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about making progress and showing up for yourself every day. Chapter 4, A Procrastination-Free Routine. Procrastination can feel like an unbeatable enemy, silently derailing our goals and ambitions. But with the right routine, you can minimize its grip on your life and build momentum toward your dreams. In this chapter, we'll explore a comprehensive daily routine designed to eliminate procrastination, boost productivity, and foster a sense of achievement. Each step is actionable and backed by strategies proven to work. Let's dive in. Morning, setting the tone for success. Your morning sets the foundation for your day. A focused and purposeful start can drastically reduce the likelihood of procrastination later on. Here's how to begin. 1. Wake up early. While waking up early isn't mandatory for everyone, starting your day before distractions arise gives you a head start. 1. Aim to wake up at a consistent time every day to establish a rhythm. 1. Studies have shown that consistent wake times help regulate your body's internal clock, improving focus and energy levels. 2. Practice morning mindfulness. Spend 5 to 10 minutes engaging in mindfulness activities like meditation, deep breathing, or journaling. 2. This practice helps you clear mental clutter and set your intentions for the day. 2. Consider writing down a positive affirmation to reinforce your commitment to productivity. 3. Identify your top 3 priorities before diving into your tasks. Take a moment to decide what truly matters. 3. Write down your top 3 priorities for the day. 3. These should be specific, actionable, and aligned with your bigger goals. 3. For example, instead of work on project, write complete the draft of the marketing presentation. 4. Create a simple schedule. Use a planner or digital tool to block time for each task. 4. Avoid overscheduling, leave room for breaks and unexpected interruptions. 4. A realistic schedule sets you up for success rather than frustration. Morning work block, the power of focus. Once you've planned your day, it's time to dive into your first work session. Here are strategies to make this time as productive as possible. 1. Leverage the Pomodoro technique. The Pomodoro technique is a time management strategy where you work for 25 minutes and then take a 5-minute break. 1. After 4 Pomodoros, take a longer 15 to 20-minute break. 1. This method helps maintain focus and reduces burnout. 2. Eliminate distractions. Identify common distractions and eliminate them during work sessions. 2. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb, close unnecessary tabs on your computer, and communicate boundaries with those around you. 3. Start with the hardest task. Tackle the most challenging or important task first. This is often referred to as eating the frog. 3. Completing it early gives you a sense of accomplishment and reduces stress throughout the day. Midday, maintaining momentum. The midday slump is when procrastination often strikes. Combat it with intentional actions. 1. Take a refreshing break. Use your lunch break to recharge both mentally and physically. 1. Step away from your workspace, eat a nutritious meal, and, if possible, get some fresh air or do light exercise. 2. Review your progress. Take 5 minutes to evaluate what you've accomplished so far. 2. Are you on track with your top 3 priorities? 2. If not, adjust your schedule and refocus. 2. Celebrating small wins during this check-in can boost motivation. 3. Switch tasks to reignite energy. If you feel your energy waning, switch to a different task that requires less mental effort. 3. For example, move from writing a report to responding to emails. 3. This shift can prevent mental fatigue while keeping you productive. Afternoon work block. Staying consistent afternoons can be the most challenging part of the day, especially if you're prone to distractions. Here's how to stay on track. 1. Set clear time boundaries. Avoid the temptation to drag tasks on indefinitely. 1. Use a timer to create urgency and encourage focus. 1. For example, set 90 minutes to complete a presentation draft, and commit to finishing within that window. 2. Incorporate movement breaks. Sitting for long periods can drain your energy and focus. 2. Schedule short movement breaks every hour. 2. Stretch, take a short walk, or do a quick workout to refresh your mind and body. 3. Use positive reinforcement. Reward yourself for completing tasks. 3. Rewards can be as simple as enjoying a piece of chocolate, watching a funny video, or taking a short social media break. 3. Positive reinforcement builds a sense of achievement and motivation to keep going. Evening, reflecting and preparing your evening routine is just as critical as your morning. It allows you to reflect on the day's accomplishments and set yourself up for success tomorrow. 1. Reflect on your progress. Spend 5 to 10 minutes reviewing what you accomplished. 1. Did you meet your top 3 priorities? 1. If not, identify why and plan how to improve. 1. Writing down your achievements fosters gratitude and boosts confidence. 2. Plan for tomorrow. End your day by outlining your next day's top 3 priorities. 2. Having a clear plan reduces decision fatigue in the morning and helps you hit the ground running. 3. Wind down and relax. Avoid screens at least 30 minutes before bed to improve sleep quality. 3. Engage in relaxing activities like reading, meditating, or taking a warm bath. 3. A good night's sleep is crucial for productivity. Additional tips for a procrastination-free routine. 1. Build accountability. Share your goals with a friend, mentor, or accountability partner. 1. Regular check-ins create a sense of responsibility and encourage follow-through. 2. Practice of compassion. Procrastination can trigger feelings of guilt or frustration. 2. Remember, everyone struggles with it at times. 2. Acknowledge setbacks without judgment and focus on making better choices moving forward. 3. Use visual reminders. Place motivational quotes or images in your workspace. 3. Visual cues can reinforce your commitment to staying on track. 4. Adopt the 2-minute rule. If a task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. 4. This habit prevents small tasks from piling up and overwhelming you. 5. Declutter your workspace. A clean, organized workspace reduces distractions and creates a more focused environment. 5. Take 5 minutes at the end of each day to tidy up. Creating a procrastination-free routine is about consistency, not perfection. Small, deliberate actions each day add up to significant progress over time. By implementing this routine, you'll not only tackle procrastination, but also build habits that empower you to achieve your goals efficiently. Start today, and watch as your productivity and confidence soar. Conclusion. Procrastination. It's a word that many of us know all too well. It's something we all struggle with from time to time, even though we know it's holding us back. But here's the truth: procrastination isn't just about laziness or lack of discipline. It's about fear, overwhelm, and uncertainty. It's about avoiding discomfort, even if that discomfort means missing out on opportunities or failing to reach our true potential. When we procrastinate, we tell ourselves that we'll do it later, that we'll have more time, or that the conditions will be better down the road. But the truth is, we rarely find that perfect moment. The circumstances might never be ideal, and if we keep waiting, we end up wasting precious time that could have been spent moving forward. But here's the good news: procrastination is not a permanent part of who you are. It's a habit that can be changed. It's a mindset that can be shifted. And once you start breaking that cycle, you'll realize how much more you are capable of. The key is to stop waiting for the perfect time and to start taking action today. We've gone through several strategies to help you overcome procrastination, small steps that can lead to big results. And while these strategies may not instantly transform your entire life overnight, they're the building blocks you need to start making progress now. Today. So let's review some of those strategies and dive deeper into how you can apply them, starting right after this video. 1. Break tasks into manageable chunks. One of the most powerful ways to defeat procrastination is to break down your tasks into small, actionable steps. We often procrastinate because the task ahead feels overwhelming. Whether it's a big project, an assignment, or even a long-term goal, it's easy to feel paralyzed by the enormity of what's in front of us. But what if, instead of thinking about the entire task, you focused only on the next step? What if you told yourself that all you have to do is complete the next small task, no matter how insignificant it may seem in the moment? This is where breaking tasks into manageable chunks comes into play. Instead of thinking I have to write a 20-page report, think, I will write the introduction for the first 10 minutes. When you break your tasks down like this, you make them feel more achievable. And once you complete that first step, the next one becomes easier. Progress builds momentum. 2. Set deadlines. Even if they're self-imposed, deadlines create a sense of urgency, and urgency can be the enemy of procrastination. Often, we procrastinate because we think we have plenty of time. But the truth is, without a deadline, tasks tend to drag on indefinitely. The project that should take 2 days can stretch into weeks if you let it. By setting deadlines for yourself, whether it's a time-based deadline or a task-specific deadline, you force yourself to take action and create a sense of accountability. It doesn't matter whether it's a big deadline or a small one, the point is to make sure you're holding yourself accountable to getting things done. The pressure of a deadline can help you push through the resistance you might be feeling. 3. Use the 2-minute rule. A great strategy to overcome procrastination is the 2-minute rule, and it's simpler than you might think. The concept is this: if a task will take 2 minutes or less to complete, do it right away. No hesitation, no delay. Just get it done. You'd be surprised how many small tasks you're putting off because they seem like a hassle or too trivial to bother with. But when you tackle them immediately, you free up mental energy and create momentum to tackle bigger, more significant tasks. Whether it's answering an email, putting away dishes, or scheduling an appointment, taking care of these quick tasks gives you a sense of accomplishment and helps clear your mental clutter. 4. Understand the power of the first 5 minutes. Starting is often the hardest part. Once you begin a task, the momentum will carry you forward. But getting those first few minutes in can feel like an insurmountable hurdle. This is where the first 5 minutes rule comes into play. Commit to working on something for just 5 minutes. Tell yourself that you only need to give it 5 minutes of your time, and if after 5 minutes you're still not feeling it, you can stop. More often than not, once you start, you'll find yourself getting into the flow and continuing well beyond the 5-minute mark. But even if you do stop, you've already made progress. And that progress can make it easier to pick it back up tomorrow. 5. Overcome perfectionism. Perfectionism is a common culprit when it comes to procrastination. You tell yourself that your work needs to be flawless, and so you hold off on starting it or finishing it. But perfectionism is often an excuse for avoiding the discomfort of imperfection. It's important to remind yourself that you don't need to get everything perfect the first time. In fact, you'll often learn more and do better by just getting started. Aim for progress, not perfection. If you make a mistake, it's part of the learning process. The important thing is to keep moving forward, no matter how imperfect the steps may seem. 6. Create a positive environment. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to focus and stay productive. If you're working in a cluttered or distracting space, your brain will have a harder time focusing on the task at hand. On the other hand, a clean, organized space can help create a mental state of clarity and focus. But beyond the physical environment, think about your emotional environment, too. Are you surrounded by people who motivate and support you? Do you engage in activities that foster a positive mindset? Creating an environment that encourages action and productivity can make it much easier to get started and keep going. 7. Build a routine that works for you. Consistency is key when it comes to overcoming procrastination. By creating a daily routine that includes specific time blocks for focused work, you train your brain to expect productivity at certain times. The more you make working on your goals a part of your daily life, the easier it becomes to stay on track. But be mindful of burnout. Routines should support you, not drain you. Find a rhythm that works for your personal energy levels and goals. Don't overschedule yourself. Instead, ensure that you balance work with relaxation and self-care. 8. Cultivate self-compassion. When we procrastinate, it's easy to fall into a spiral of guilt and self-blame. But being hard on yourself doesn't help. In fact, it often makes procrastination worse. The more we criticize ourselves, the more we feed the negative emotions that lead to avoidance. Instead of criticizing yourself, practice self-compassion. Understand that procrastination happens to everyone, and it doesn't make you a failure. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them control you. You have the power to choose action, even in moments of self-doubt. 9. Visualize your success. Finally, take time to visualize what success looks like. Imagine yourself completing your tasks, achieving your goals, and feeling the satisfaction that comes with making progress. This visualization can create a sense of motivation and excitement, helping you shift your focus from the discomfort of starting to the joy of finishing. The more vividly you imagine the rewards of taking action, the more likely you are to overcome the temptation to procrastinate. Harness this mental power and use it to fuel your productivity. Procrastination is not a permanent condition, nor is it a reflection of your abilities or worth. It's a habit, a mental pattern, that can be changed. By applying the strategies we've discussed today, you can begin to make real progress toward your goals. But don't expect overnight results. Overcoming procrastination is a process. It takes time, practice, and patience. The important thing is to start today. The longer you wait, the further away your dreams will feel. Remember, you have the power to change. You have the ability to take action. And the best way to get something done is to begin today. So, what are you waiting for? Start right now. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more tips, and share this message with someone who needs it. Together, we can beat procrastination and unlock our fullest potential.